April the 25th, 2024. In today's video, I want to talk about hope. One of the subscribers I was chatting back and forth with in the comments yesterday after I posted up the video, and I talked about I was going to do the cooking video today, but I decided I want to do this video instead because, like I said, there's a subscriber out there who's struggling really bad, and I told him that I would make this video today. And like I said, today's video is about hope and why we need to keep the hope. The thing is that for so many years, I didn't see any way out of the situation I was in. I just didn't. I really thought that I was going to be stuck in that situation for the rest of my life. But life took me down another path, and I ended up getting sick, and I decided that enough was enough, and I didn't want to do it anymore. And finally made the decision in myself that I was going to stop no matter what, and I did. And I can say it wasn't easy, but what in life is easy that's worth anything? Anything that we ever achieve in life, you have to work for it. It's like anything else. Your car, your house, that new TV that you wanted, whatever it is, that new outfit that you've been eyeing, you had to put in work to get it. Unless you were just born wealthy, and most of us aren't. We had to work to get what we have. And the same applies to becoming sober or staying sober. We have to work for it. One of the things is that when we fail, we get this idea in our head, like, that's it. We failed, we screwed up, and there's just, that's it. Where do I go from here? But the thing is that, and I know this sounds so cliche, but failure can teach us so much about ourselves. I know it's taught a lot to me about myself, because I failed multiple times. I failed through so many things in my lifetime, especially staying sober. I relapsed so many times. And I really did think that was it. I didn't think there was any way for me to ever get to where I am right now. But the one thing that I held on to was the hope. I've talked about this, but I laid in the bed for about 3 months, and I found a smidgen of hope on here on YouTube. And that's why I'm doing these videos, because someone gave me hope, and I wanted to reciprocate that and try to do the same for others. I promise you that there was a time that I really thought that I would never get out of my bed. I would never be able to get back outside again and do things ever again. I just didn't think that was ever going to be possible. I thought that my life was basically over. I had ascites that was, I looked like I was 9 months pregnant. I was skin and bones. I had no muscle mass at all. I was so weak I could barely walk up a flight of stairs. I couldn't even get myself out of the bathtub at times. I couldn't use the restroom on my own. I couldn't get up to get myself something to drink. I mean, it was horrible. And during that period of time, I really thought to myself that was it. I've talked about this before, but I've loved kayaking my whole entire life. I sold all of my kayaks while I was sick. I sold my canoe that I had, and I had a lot of kayaks, a lot of kayaking gear. My motorcycle, I sold everything that I enjoyed in life when I got sick, because I just thought, now I need the money now, for one, because I did. I wasn't working in the period of time. We have a mortgage. I got 3 kids. So I had bills to pay, so I had to let that stuff go. But at the same time as well, I just didn't think that I would ever get back to it. So I thought, the heck with it. It's got to go. But here I am now, and like today, I got up this morning, went to the doctor, and then I went and had my blood work done after I got done doing that. And then I went and hung out with my daughter today. and we went and did a couple things. We went out to, there's a lake here local that her and I went and hung out at and had some lunch, just sitting there by the lake today. And when I was sitting there looking out over the lake, I thought to myself, I never thought this was ever going to be possible again, but here I am. And if I'd given up during that period of time, I would never be able to reap these rewards right now. But I stuck through it, and I'm able to enjoy so much in life right now that I never thought would ever be possible ever again, because I held on to that hope. And at the end of the day, you know, if we hold on to the hope and things don't work out the way we want them to, what did we lose? Nothing. We didn't lose anything. You know, like I said, everything that's important in our life takes work. Marriages take work. Children take work. Having a home takes work. We have to keep it up. We have to work to pay for it. Having a car, you have to keep it up. You have to pay to keep the maintenance. You have to pay the payments on it. Everything takes work to get there. And the same goes with our sobriety. We have to work. And we have to keep our head up. And we got to keep our eye on the prize and just keep looking forward. You know, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today too is, have you ever noticed people that are successful in business? I'm sure you guys know somebody out there who's successful in their own business. They own their own business and they're really successful. Sorry. You know, what's the one thing, the one quality that those successful people have that a lot of us don't? They're not afraid of failure. Owning a business takes risk. I've had my own business. I had a couple. And it takes risk. It takes putting your neck out there and not being afraid to fail. Because if you do, you're probably going to end up failing at some point. But you have to pick yourself back up. You know, I mean, any big business that's out there right now. I mean, take Amazon, for example. That guy started his business. Amazon was started in just a little teeny office. I mean, it was nothing. And look what he turned it into. I mean, it's probably one of the biggest businesses in the world right now. It started just from a very small little website. Look at eBay. You know, that was started where they sold those little Beanie Babies or something on there, and now it's huge. The point is that, you know, everything starts small. Everything has to start small and then can get big. And it's about not being afraid to fail. And the same applies to our sobriety. You have to go into it not being afraid to fail. If you go in thinking, I'm not going to be able to do this, then you're never going to be able to do it. But if you go into it with the right mindset and say, I'm going to do it this time, and if I fail, I'm just going to pick myself back up again and start all over. That's, you know, that's the way we have to think. You know, everything in life that I have ever learned lessons from has been from failure. Every time. I've learned so much from failure, and that's the most important thing, is that, you know, did you fail? Okay, we're human beings. We all make mistakes. We all fail and we all mess up, but did we learn from it? And that's the most important part of this. But like I said, you know, some of the most successful business people I've ever known, they were not the smartest people. Honestly, some of the most successful business people I've ever known were not smart people at all. They were actually the complete opposite, but they weren't afraid of failure. And that's how they got to where they are. It's always blown my mind to see that, because I know a lot of people who have been very successful in their business, and when they would fail, they just got right back up and kept going. You know, they risked everything. They put everything on the line for their business, and they were able to make it work. And I feel like that's what we have to do for our success and our sobriety. You got to put it on the line, and you got to take that shot. I got a quote here, and it goes like this: never give up hope. All things are working for your good. One day you'll look back on everything you've been through and thank God for it. Remember, diamonds are created under pressure, so hold on. it will be your time to shine soon. And that is so true. So very true. So my point here is don't look at it as, I failed already so many times, how am I going to manage to do it this time? Can't look at it like that. Take a risk, take a shot. But like I always say, make sure that you check with the doctor if, that's what you're going to try to do. And, make sure that you're not going to have any complications before you go attempting to do so. But even if you're right now, you are sober, remember to keep that hope, because all these hard times, if you're struggling right now and it's really tough, and every day you're like, man, just that drink would solve all my problems, and you keep giving those thoughts room to play around in your head, just remember that someday down the road, you're going to look back on all these struggles that you went through, and you're going to be so proud of yourself that you made it through it. Because what's on the other side is worth it. It really is. Having a clear mind, not waking up hungover every single day, not feeling hungover every single day, not trying to hide your consumption, not hiding the bottles anymore, not dealing with the shame. Because the shame, I know all about it. I was so shameful of myself because of my actions and my consumption for so long. But I can tell you now that, after getting sober and, dealing with all of the struggles that I've been through, dealing with the sickness, my illnesses, so many times I just wanted to go, whatever. I'm just going to have this drink because it's not worth it anymore. I'm so glad I didn't do that and that I stuck through it. Because I'm reaping the rewards for the seeds that I sowed every single day that I made it through. Every day that I said no. Every day that I didn't give in to my desires to drink. It's so much better now on the other side. And I still struggle. I do. I want everybody to know here that I am nobody perfect. I'm nobody special. I'm just a regular guy who's just dedicated to trying to stay sober. And I struggle every single day. I think about it every single day. I don't have the magic button. I don't know the magic formula to quitting drinking. I don't. Or to stop using. We're all different. And we all have our own rock bottoms. What might be your rock bottom might not be my rock bottom. It's all subjective to us. If you grew up in a 10,000 square foot house, your idea of a rock bottom might be moving to a 2,000 square foot house. But if you grew up living on the streets, your rock bottom might be completely different. So there's just, there's really just no way to compare ourselves in that manner. And I'm not saying that you have to hit rock bottom to stop. I'm just saying that a lot of us, we do. There's a lot of us that do just have to hit that bottom before we can get back up to the top again. I know that's what I had to do. I've always been that person that if somebody told me something was hot, I touched it. And I burnt my hand, and then I learned my lesson like that. People have told me over the years, you need to stop drinking, you're causing yourself a lot of problems and all this stuff. And I was like, whatever. I didn't take anything they said serious. And, looking back now, I wish I had, but that's just not the way that my brain works. And I had to learn the hard way. And, some of us can learn from other people's mistakes. And I hope that some people can learn from mine and decide to change. But But I can just tell you that I know how hard the struggle is. I really do. Because it's not easy. But at the same time, it's worth the heartache. It's worth the stress. It's worth the headaches that you're gonna have. It's gonna be worth everything that you're gonna deal with. It's gonna be worth all the pacing around and the thoughts of that drink and how to be better. It's gonna be worth all the times that you're gonna avoid that gas station that you stop at. It's going to be worth the times that you have to avoid going to some get-together because, you know, people are going to be drinking. All that stuff's going to be worth it in the end because sobriety's worth it. And you're worth it. Just remember to keep your hope because the hope really is all that we have at the end of the day. If you don't have hope, then you've given up and there's just no point. You have to keep the hope and keep pushing forward. And like I said, I know this sounds so cliche. I know it does, but it's so true. I'm a living example of someone that almost gave up, and I didn't. And I'm nobody special at all. I just kept pushing forward, and now I'm able to reap the rewards, you know, of, you know, continuing to push forward and not giving up and not letting my failures hold me back. You know, there have been so many times that, you know, I had people pass judgment on me, treat me poorly, call me, you know, tell me I'm nothing but an alcoholic or an addict or whatever it may be. You know, people putting me down. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. They're going to say what they want. They're going to think what they want to think about me. I know who I am and where I'm headed. You need to do the same thing. You know, don't let those people hold you back. If you have a naysayer telling you you're never going to be able to do it, don't worry about that. And don't let anybody else hold you back from where you need to be in life and where you want to be. You know, any of you guys out there who are struggling, if you need anything from me, you can reach out to me. The links to my social media accounts are in the description box on the videos. Send me a friend request on any of them. I'm not going to reject anybody. I will accept any friend request on there. Now, you know, I have had some people go on there and start saying some kind of ridiculous stuff on there. I'm not going to entertain any of that. But if you actually come there, you know, and you need some help, you need somebody to talk to, hit me up on my social media. When I have time, you know, if I'm in the middle of something and I can't talk to you right then, give me just a little bit, and I will get you my contact information so I can talk to you. If any of you guys are struggling, you need just somebody to talk to, I'm here. I will make time to talk to you to help. I don't know like I said, what the magic button is. I don't know the magic formula, but I can help you. I can talk to you. And if you're struggling really bad and you just need somebody to talk to, you're feeling down, depressed, lonely, I've been there. I've been there. Heck, I'm lonely every single day. I'm home by myself most days. So I know. And a lot of the time when I was homesick, I was by myself. I had to sit there by myself and deal with those thoughts, those emotions, all alone. So I know what it's like. I didn't have somebody to talk to all the time. I had to, you know, get through it by myself, mainly. And I'm being completely honest with you guys. My wife had to go to work every single day. My kids had to go to school. There wasn't anybody here with me. And I was too sick to leave. I was too sick to go anywhere, hang out with anybody. I just couldn't do it. So I know what it's like to be lonely. I know what it's like to be there with your thoughts, and you just need somebody to talk to just to make you feel a little bit better. And like I said, if that's the case, you need somebody to talk to, hit me up on my social media. I'm not going to tell anybody no. I'm not going to reject anybody. I'm here to help any of you guys who need it. But I just hope that this video helped a little bit today. You know, like I said, I don't know what the formula is to get sober, but I do know that the key to failure is that giving up your hope and letting failure hold you back. I do know how to fail. Now, how to succeed, I just don't know. But I can tell you that it definitely, if you give up your hope, you will not get there. You have to remain in a positive mindset and keep pushing forward and don't give up. And like I said, I know that sounds so cliche, but it's so true. There's a reason that so many people say that. So many people have, been through so many rough things and they just kept going. And they were able to look back now and go, man, I'm glad I didn't give up whenever I thought that I should. Because all of us have struggles in life. We all do. You can look at anybody and think that their life is just perfect and rosy, but I guarantee you that deep down inside, there's something that's bothering them. They've got problems. We all have problems. Each one of us. I think one of the biggest problems that we have this day and age is social media. So many people, posting up their imaginary life on there. And, in my personal life, I don't get on social media for a lot of reasons. But one of the biggest reasons is I don't want to keep up with the Joneses. I don't want to go on there and look at all that fakeness that's on there. There's so many people on there smiling and they're just so happy all the time. And it's just not true. It's a portrayal that they want people to believe. You never see anybody post up hardly ever that they're having a bad day or they're sad or whatever. It's always, oh, look at me and my new car and what this great vacation that we're going on. And what we tend to do is we go on and we compare ourselves and we go, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not going on vacation. I don't have a new car. I don't have these beautiful kids or whatever it is. I don't have this huge house like they do. Don't let that stuff hold you back. I really think that social media, especially when you're trying to get sober, I would stay away from it. You don't need to be comparing yourself to anybody. We need to focus on ourselves. If that's what you want to do, more power to you. You do whatever you'd like. I just would not suggest being on social media when you're trying to get sober. There's just, now, granted, I just told you to message me on social media, but and I'm not saying delete your accounts or anything, but I just wouldn't get on there and just be looking too much, because it's going to upset you. Especially if you're struggling really hard and you go on there and you see, your buddy that you went to high school with and they're on some great vacation, and you're going to think, well, why am I not having a good time? And why is their life so great? And all this kind of stuff. Don't compare yourself to anybody else because you are who you are. All of our lives are different. And, like I said yesterday, if God made us all equal, the same people, this would be a boring world. And that's just not the case. We're all different. Everything's different for each and every single one of us. And we can't compare ourselves to those other people. All you can do is compare yourself to you. And are you better than you were yesterday? That's all that matters. Did you make any improvements from yesterday? Or did you stay stagnant? Or did you come down a little bit? If we can make little improvements every single day to ourselves, I think that's really the way to go. Don't look at the huge picture. Just think of it day by day. And like I said, I know that's cliche, but just try to do something positive every single day. I can tell you, I've told my wife this 1,000 times because she always tells me that I do too much. She's worried about me because I've done too much. I try to get one thing done a day. One thing, no matter what it is. I try to get one little project knocked out. It could be the smallest minute thing, but I try to get at least one project done around my house every single day. I fit it in every single day, no matter what it is. If it's just cleaning the toilets that day, that's what I did that day. I at least got something accomplished. And I don't look at the big picture. I don't think of it like that. I think of it as, I just want to get this done, and then tomorrow I can chip off a little bit more. And I do that every single day. When I was just working on my garden last week, it took me 2 weeks to get that done. I did a little bit every single day. I pull a couple weeds here and there. I'd do a little bit here and there. I'd plant a couple seeds here and there. I had my kids out there planting seeds with me. And every day we went out there after they got home from school, after they had their dinner, right before we get dark, we'd go out there and spend 15 minutes. It took 2 weeks to get it done, but it finally got done. And it was just a little bit every single day. Yeah, it didn't look like a whole lot got done each day, but I'll tell you what, after 2 weeks, it all got finished. And the same could be with our sobriety. Each day, you know, we work on it. And eventually we can get to a point where we're comfortable enough in our sobriety to be able to go back out and do things again. But, you know, without that hope, you know, what's the point? You gotta keep your hope and believe in yourself, because like I've said 1,000 times, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Because I was that bad. I really was. I was horrible. And like I said, I never thought that I would ever get sober, and I'm here. The life that I'm living now is something that I only dreamed about at one point. I dreamed about this moment for years, and I'm finally here. And the only thing that got me here was my hope. And I hope that you can keep your hope as well. So with that said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here for today. I hope this video helped out. Like I said, I just don't know what the magic key is to all this. I just don't. We're all different people. What makes me tick might not make you tick. So I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. I doubt that I'll do my cooking video tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I might try to get up early in the morning and get knocked out. It just depends. I might just do a regular video. I'm not sure yet. Live video will be Saturday, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, once again. And Sunday will be the Talk with My Wife. Don't forget that if you have any questions that you'd like for us to talk about that day, go back to last Sunday's video and add that question into the comments. So I got some really good questions on there. Really interested in answering those. But I think that's it, guys. I think that's it for today. My son's got a band concert tonight, 6 o'clock. So I'm about to have to go on here and get ready and get this video edited and get it starting to upload. And I need to take a shower and get ready to go to this band concert tonight. So another thing that I never would have done before if I wasn't sober, and here I am going to this, another thing, and it just blows me away, the amount of stuff that I can do now, because I'm not passed out at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's why I say life's so much better on the sober side. It really is. So, you know, just like the merch says, live free. Once we remove that substance, we can actually finally live free. And I tell you, I couldn't be happier with being able to live free now. So, with that said, guys, I'm off. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. I hope you guys have a wonderful night tonight. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it. And until tomorrow, I will see you all then. Love you guys so much.